In the name of Allah, most gracious and merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of everything, the most gracious and merciful, the sovereign master of the day of reckoning. To you alone ourselves do we all enslave, and from you alone help do we all crave. Guide us to and upon the straight path, the path of those whom you have favored, not of those who have earned your wrath, nor of those who from your way have erred. Islam appealed to the downtrodden of society, the impoverished, powerless, and the enslaved, as it offered to them hope, equality, and dignity, and most of all the guidance that they all craved. A religion that was to make all men brothers, where slaves and kings could stand side by side, where no tribe or clan was better than others, and neither wealth nor rank nor ancestral pride would give to anyone precedence or immunity if they did not perform good actions with piety. And divine guidance was by Amir ibn Fuhayra found, though he was considered of no importance by anyone, and Bilal's soul became free while his body was bound, testifying that he was in truth a slave to only one. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud was a young shepherd who came across Allah's messenger one day, and when the beauty of the Quran he heard, he too became a firm follower of his way. But not all were poor and of no consequence. Even some from noble houses heeded the call. There was the youthful Mus'ab raised in affluence, yet he became among the wisest and humblest of all. And then the son of Utbah, the proud Meccan chief. Abu Hudhayfa's heart too opened up to belief. Abdullah ibn Jahsh, Abu Salama, Ja'far and Ubaidah, each woman possessing conviction and certainty, and Zainab bint Jahsh, Salama, and Sauda, virtuous women known for patience and purity. But with their numbers growing steadily day by day, the believers began to long for a place to congregate, a place where they could recite revelation and pray, and so the Prophet with the believers did deliberate, until they had selected the house of Al-Arqam finally. It was at the northern base of Mount Safa situated, a place where people could come and go secretly, to help the needy, the traveler, and the orphaned youth, to respect parents' rights and act well with neighbors, to be just and kind in deeds and to only speak the truth. Such were the lessons the Prophet taught his followers. He spoke to them about past prophets and scripture, and he encouraged each of them to use their intellect, to cast aside all superstitions, vanity, and conjecture, then to look towards the signs in nature and reflect, to strive to develop fortitude, courage, and temperance, and to constantly purify their hearts with remembrance. They were reminded whenever they would meet, begin each action you perform with Allah's name, and with the salutations of peace each other greet. What you wish for yourself, wish for others the same. And he would speak against all forms of ignorance, misplaced pride in themselves, their tribal ancestry, and that all people were equal despite their difference, that Allah did not look at their forms but at their piety. He told them women should be honored and respected, and that the infant daughters should be protected. And he spoke of the coming day of judgment, when all their deeds would be put on measure, warning them of the great fire and its torment, and inviting them to the garden and its pleasure. Uthman ibn Maz'un, a humble man of piety, would come along with Khawla his wife. Together their hearts found true certainty, and worship became the center of their life. Then Qudama and Abdullah, his brothers too, both of them testified the message was true. Then came Khunais, Tulayb and Abu Sabra, and there was Miqdad, the brave-hearted youth. Then Nu'aym, Abu Fukhayya, Amir ibn Rabi'ah, and Khabbab, each one submitted to the truth. And the messenger recited when he would pray, "When the sun is wound and the stars fall down, and the mountains are made to pass away, and the pregnant camels are left unattended, and the wild beasts are together mustered, and the seas are seething and souls are paired, and the female infant buried alive is questioned, because of which sin had she been murdered. And when scrolls are spread and sky is bared, and when the blazing fire has been set ablaze, and when the garden has been brought nigh, every soul shall know what it has prepared. So when Suhaib and Ammar arrived one day, they each listened to the revelation in awe. It was nightfall when they finally crept away. Ammar found his parents waiting by the door. They both looked at him with a worried glance, afraid he had fallen under the wrong influence. "Oh, my parents, these idols we have adored cannot cause harm nor help us in any way. So I testify that none but Allah is my Lord, and from now on to Him alone will I pray." Seeing the profound changes in their son, and the passion with which he would speak, Yasir and Sumayyah would ask about his religion, until an audience themselves they went to seek. So they set out to meet the messenger in secrecy, and left his presence with complete certainty. Households like that of Yasir's were still a rarity. At a time when belief was scarce and unpopular, the family of Yasir had submitted in its entirety, dedicating themselves to Allah and His Messenger. Sa'id had been raised by a firm monotheist. His father Zayd had spent his entire existence searching for the truth that his people missed, but had been killed while still seeking guidance. So when Sa'id learnt of the messenger's mission, he entered it with complete heartfelt submission. Sa'id's wife was Fatima, one of Al-Khattab's daughters, and her family were all polytheists of the sternest kind. But Fatima did not wish to blindly follow her ancestors, and instead accepted Islam with a clear heart and mind. Omar, her brother, was still not aware of this yet. Of imposing physique, broad-shouldered and tall, he was the kind of man who'd get angry, not upset, and his fiery temperament was feared by almost all. While Amr, their uncle, a man of notable influence, was already displaying his disdain and arrogance. Amr ibn Hisham was to Muhammad very near in age, and yet they could not be further apart in personality, though the Quraysh considered him to be a wise sage. As Abu Jahl instead, he'd soon be known for his infamy.